Hello?
I don't want to talk.
But dang, how you doing today?
Good, I don't want to talk.
Why you always tell me that?
Because I don't like talking to you. I don't like talking to you.
But you won't even let me ask the question before you try to answer.
You just said, how are you?
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good today, man. It's actually sad, man. It's actually sad. I take that back. It ain't nothing pretty good. It's actually sad because you just have to think, man, that there has to be some foul play going on in here, man. Just because the situation that you're about to see is just like, there's just no way that this daughter just naturally feel this way towards her father, right? Somebody or something had to have intervened for her to feel this way, right? Now, some could say, hey, well, maybe the father did something, right? And I could easily say that, hey, that is a very, very weak argument. That is a it's essentially just excusing this daughter's behavior. It's excusing the women's behavior when somebody say, well, what did the father do? Right? As if, once again, these fathers are just going out here just neglecting and hurting the children. Now, not to say that it doesn't happen, because you do have some of your Pookies and Ray Rays out there, right, who do stuff like that. But for the most part, man, for the most part, most of your fathers are active. Most of your fathers are trying to do the best that they can for their children. Now, in this video, you're going to see this daughter, man, go off on her father, right? I mean, and like I said, when you just look at the interaction, you're just like, man, somebody had to have said something to this little girl. And more than likely, it's probably the mother. Right now, I once again can sit up here and say that, hey, man, listen, you know, maybe the father, maybe, right, just maybe the mother is saying something to the daughter, right, talking in their ear, you know, putting a bad name on the father. And then she's also seeing and hearing how the father talks to the baby mother, right? I mean, he probably talked to her greasy, right? He probably talking to his baby mama greasy as all get out, and the daughter's hearing that. So being that she's probably with the mother, right? And the mother probably has full custody of the daughter, right? Once again, she's going to be, there's going to be a side being picked here, right? So let's go ahead and look at this video.
Hello?
I don't want to talk.
But dang, how you doing today?
Good, I don't want to talk.
Why you always tell me that?
Because I don't like talking to you. I don't like talking to you.
But you won't even let me ask the question before you try to answer.
You just said, how are you? You just said, how are you?
Oh my goodness, Demi, why you so rude to your daddy?
I don't like talking to you.
But that doesn't give you a reason to be rude. You gotta honor your mother and your father, sweetheart.
Okay, I don't want to talk.
I get that much, but you don't have to be rude about it.
I said I don't want to talk.
I know that. I heard you the first 4 times, but you still need to stop being rude. That's the whole thing about it.
I'm telling you something and you're not listening.
Because I'm the parent, you can't tell me nothing. That's the thing.
I can express my feelings.
You definitely can, but you can do that without being rude as well. That's the whole thing. That's the key.
Okay.
You don't be rude and you don't be disrespectful. Okay, but you don't have to talk over me either. But you don't have to talk over me. So if you don't want to talk and you're going to talk over me, you could just be quiet and let me say what I got to say. You get that from your mama. But I love you and I miss you anyway.
Bye-bye.
I would just honestly, personally think that some foul play is going on. And foul play, somebody was talking in that little girl's ear. And it's sad, man. It's sad because, once again, how can this little girl harbor that much hatred for her own father? You know, hey, maybe this father isn't as present or isn't as good of a father as it seems, right? But for the most part, man, I mean, he's very calm, and he's just saying, man, you don't have to be rude, right? You don't have to be rude. So once again, man, I remember seeing this video. So I want to say I saw this video about a year or two ago, man. And like I said, it's sad, right? It's sad, man, because once again, here's a father who was active, who was saying, hey, man, listen, I just want to talk to you. If the father is willing to do this, I'm just 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure he's willing to pick the daughter up, pick the child up, hang out with the freaking child. But it's sad, man, because like I said, you're going to hear a lot of mothers trying to put something in the child's ear, right? Just to alienate the father and the child, right? And that's how a lot of women get back. Let's look at some of these comments. So the top comment says, she was trained by, we all know who, right? Once again, I'm not the only one who's saying that, but we already know who she was trained by. Somebody else says, sometimes you got to cut off even your own kids. Someone else says, I'm going through it with my 7-year-old son. It hurts so bad. Who knows what his mom tells him about me? Somebody else says, I mean, you asked how she was doing. She said good, but she doesn't want to talk. Dad feelings was clearly hurt, but as an adult, you could have done better. As an adult, you could have done better. And what more did you want him to do? He's trying to talk to you. He's trying to have a relationship with you. He's trying, once again, he is open. He has an open line of communication with you. And once again, I mean, but hey, once again, she comes back with a whole nother comment, guys, right? And we're gonna go over some of her comments, but you know, it's just ridiculous. But someone else says, give that kid the same energy when she wants something. Then she goes back on, this is the same chick that said that had a crazy comment, right? She says, why everyone blaming it on the mother? I see why she doesn't want to talk to him, right? So she had to sit over here and make two different comments, man, just because once again, it seems that she is hurt and she probably went through the same situation. But someone else says her mother was probably sitting right next to her, coaching her, shaking my head. Somebody else says, we don't play at my house. I have custody of my 2 kids, and sometimes my daughter says she doesn't want to talk to her mom when she calls. No, ma'am. You grab the phone and talk to your mama. Parenting is a team effort, and despite what is going on between the parents, it should never affect how you support each other to raise the kids. Right? Once again, man, you have a man. That's why I said you look at certain podcasts when you have men who advocate, you know, for men, when you have women who advocate for men, they're going to hold both sides accountable. Right? But when you have somebody, man, who is a feminist, when you have somebody who's a single mother who is going to be bitter, they're always going to hold that child away from the father. They're always going to sit over here and try to one up. They're not going to be mature like this. They're not going to say, hey, well, you know what? I need that man to help. I need that man's help to, to raise his child. Someone else says, I would be willing to bet that her mother was right there and she was proud of her for treating her father that way. Shaking my head. Somebody else says that's her mama talking. Somebody else says we be going through the most, even the ones who do the utmost for their kids. If it's one thing I can't take, is disrespectful kids. Yeah. So then, right, this is going back to what the lady said earlier. Why is everybody, sitting over here, saying something about the mother, right? I mean, it's just ridiculous, but let's read some of the comments. Someone says, right, and this is the top comment, right? Someone says, you don't have a good relationship with your dad, do you? Then someone else says, you can tell by that pic, bro. No need to ask, right? So, and when you look at her picture, I was just about to say the same thing. On this channel, perception is key. You can be disingenuous as much as you want, but if you walk up into a job with tattoos on your face and you looking raggedy. So the lady responds, she says, I have a great relationship with my father. In fact, I live in a full house with my siblings and my mother as well. Judging a profile pic that you can barely see is insane. It's really not that insane. But then she goes on to respond and she says, doesn't change the fact of the matter that this little girl does not want to talk to her father when we all can see why. For one, he's not respecting her boundaries even when she answered his question. Now, let's just break it down. Number one, you're talking about respecting boundaries. Now, you will be the same person. Now, this is what I'm saying. These are the type of sisters that make up your sisterhood. It doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense. You're going to sit over here and say, he's not respecting her boundaries. But then if he was never going out his way to call her or to ask or to do anything, what will you say? Well, as a father, you didn't even reach out to her. You didn't do your job. You didn't do your due diligence. Well, my daughter says she don't ever want to talk to me. That doesn't mean anything. She's young, right? She's young. You are her father. You need to. So once again, it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't type situation with women like this. And it's sad because this makes up most of your sisterhood. I'm gonna just be honest with you, right? A lot of your sisters think like this. A lot of your sisters tend to be very hypocritical. So simply said, she don't want to talk with him right now. And as a man child, he got in his feelings and tried to insult her and said, you get that from your mother. No wonder why she don't want to talk to him. Right. So, I mean, once again, guys, y'all let me know down below. How do y'all feel about this response from this chick right here? Because, I mean, once again, it just sounds like delusion. It sounds like a woman, man, who, once again, don't have a relationship with her father. It does not sound like she has a relationship with her father whatsoever. Right. She could say she has a great relationship with her father, but when you just hear her response, it just sounds like, once again, it's just a bunch of hatred. There's a bunch of, my father wasn't in my life. Right. My father wasn't in my life. And once again, like, what would make you think to make a response like this, because once again, it doesn't make any sense. You're saying that, hey, once again, he got triggered, he got upset. Any adult will get upset when a child is talking to them and being disrespectful. That's number one. Number two, he held his composure. He was very calm. He's like, man, listen, you don't have to be rude. But I mean, hey, but once again, these are the type of sisters you will see a lot of times. And once again, man, this is why a lot of times you really just can't even have discussions or arguments with women like this, because it's like talking to a brick wall sometimes. It's literally like talking to a cat. So then she goes on to say, he also said, dang, why you always telling me that? It's more to the story that's not shown clearly. But instead of listening, people assume the mother is coaching her. Why not ask, what did the father do for his own daughter to not want to talk to him? Right. So once again, right, I mean, y'all let me know down below, right? Y'all let me know down below, right? Because once again, like I said, we're going to have women out here who's going to say, hey man, you can't sit over here and just expect and just assume that it's all the woman. What did the father do? But yet the father is calling her. The father is asking her what's going on. Hey, I just want to talk to you. This, that, and the third. Once again, there had to have been foul play going on, right? So, I mean, hey, y'all, I don't know. Y'all let me know down below, man. How do y'all feel about this? Do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.